So this is a live recording of the granola that Mum and I have perfected, and we're going to use an array of different things, but there really is no hard and fast rule of what you use and how much you use of it. You can just change it every time. So we're going to go with oats first. So every batch we make of this, it always comes out a little bit different, and then you can just work out what you like more of and what you like less of, and 1 week you can have it more nutty and 1 week you can have it more seedy. So oats first, and then into the oats is coconut oil. So I know some people melt this first and then use it, but it does mix in and then it melts instantly as soon as it goes in the oven. And honey. Maple syrup. This is pure maple syrup. It isn't the sugar loaded version. And then vanilla, and this is vanilla bean paste so that it has no alcohol in it. A lot of the vanilla extracts have alcohol in them. And it is personal preference of flavours and how much of each thing. Then we've got some cacao powder. This is what makes it so tasty. So not too much of this. A few times we've made it and we've put loads of this in. Sometimes the kids think, yay, more the better, more chocolatey, but not too much. But again, it really is personal preference. Right, so I'm going to transfer that into one of the baking sheets now. There's no paper needed or lining, there's enough oils in this. Spread it out, and this is going to go into the oven on a low. So a low oven, probably like what, gas mark 3, gas mark 4, 110, 120, 130, depending on your oven, but not super high because you don't want it to burn. And while the oats are getting done at the original, we're gonna go in with the seeds and things. So desiccated coconut. Got some super seed mix. Some sunflower seeds. Pumpkin seeds. So I'm using a 1/3 cup measure at the moment. Chai seeds. Some milled chai seeds. Some mixed melon seeds. Some flax seeds. Just gonna check on the oats in the oven. Yep, they're okay. And now in with some of the nuts. So you can chop some of the nuts, but I actually like them whole. I know some people don't want them so chunky. So you've got hazelnuts, pecans, walnuts, sometimes it is half almonds. They are whole almonds this time. You can put them in the food processor and half them, but we're going to go whole. Pine nuts. And then we've got some natural mixed nuts. then dress them. I've got more honey, more vanilla bean paste, maple syrup, and then a little bit of ground cinnamon, not too much because this is actually quite strong, just a teaspoon. Might go with a little bit more of the coconut oil. Because there is desiccated coconut in this as well, but some coconut oil is going to help bring it together. Right, so we're going to add dark chocolate at the end after the seeds and nuts have been done as well. Just going to clear some space to get the oats out of the oven. So this is a slow roast. And that's going to be our nut and seeds that we're going to put on top of the oats. But I'm going to do the oats a little bit more. I'm actually going to add more oats because we've got loads of nuts and seeds. Let's get a little bit more oats in. But you see, you just literally do it as you go. And you work out what you want more of and what you want less of. So based on how many nuts and seeds I've mixed and how I've kept the nuts chunky this time, I actually want a bit more oats in. Right, this is back in the oven and I've got it on a gas mark 4. In the middle of the oven. But I'm quite happy with this combination. I do like pumpkin seeds, so I think I might add a tiny bit more pumpkin seeds. looks a bit better. And then maybe a tiny bit more cacao powder. That's a good mix. So what I'm going to do is when the oats come out of the oven, I'm going to split it into the 2 trays, because the thinner the layer when you bake, a bit more even the bake will be. So I'll put half of this on here, ready for the oats to go on. Keep looking at it and see what you want to add more of. So I think I'm going to add more pecans because I can't see enough. And a little bit more walnuts. So I'm now going to divide the oats into the 2 trays, and then they're both going to go back in. And then you do really need to watch it because the nuts and the seeds burn very quickly, which a few times I have learnt the hard way. But if you even get a little bit distracted, you come back and the nuts are burnt. Because most of these nuts, when the packets, they are roasted nuts. So they don't need much more. They just need a little bit more for the honey and the maple syrup and the vanilla flavouring, but you don't actually need to overcook them. then just look at it and think, what else does it want extra of, or is it enough of everything? And I do like the look of it today. So I have kept it chunky this time. I'm probably gonna have it more with yogurt that's been soaked overnight as opposed to straight away. I can see a lot of chia seeds, so I might reduce the chia seeds next time, only because it will get so filling otherwise. But no, it's looking good. Happy with that. Right, so back into the oven. That's what it looks like at the moment. And it does need to be watched now because it will burn very quickly. So while that's getting done, I'm gonna just get the chocolate ready. So dark chocolate. not done yet. I'm just mixing it once, because now the coconut oil has melted. Give it a mix and put it back in. You see, the nuts turn very quickly, so they need a lot less time than the oats. But as long as you mix them and keep them coated in the coconut oil and the syrup and the vanilla, they don't burn. Right, so back in. And carry on tidying up. So in terms of the oats, we have bought Quaker oats and instant oats and expensive oats, but these oats, if you look, don't have a lot of powder. They are whole oats and they are really thick, and these ones make the best oat cookies and the best granola. So at the bottom of the packet, there's no dust, there's no fine powder, they are all intact oats, and they're the cheapest ones. So it's not always the expensive things that are the best. This is an exception. This is the most expensive and it is the best and it is worth every penny, because the other ones are just not as good, they're not as tasty, and a lot of them have alcohol in them. So check on them again, see what's happening. So even the smell changes when they get close. So you can start smelling the nuts, oils. But it's the colour that I want a little bit darker. And then I'll show you what happens with the chocolate. It's not ready for the chocolate just yet. think next time I'll add more coconut flakes, the desiccated coconut. I can't see a lot of it now. I think I'll add more of that next time for next week's batch. So I make this in these flat trays and I let them completely cool on the trays, because the trays do stay warm and they do carry on roasting a little bit. And then once it's completely cool, I transfer them into glass airtight containers and I actually just give them out. So my sister-in-law gets a jar, my sister gets a jar, I think her husband ends up eating it more than she does. I think her kids do like it. I have it in yogurt layers with berries for work, and then people at work end up having it as well because it's just so wholesome and amazing for fasting. So hopefully, I'm thinking either after fast breaks before bed, but then I think I'm going to get too thirsty, or just before sunrise, so if that's sahur time. But we'll see how it works out. So that's going back in. So these are the jars. My sister-in-law's gonna get one, I'm gonna keep one, and my sister's getting one. Okay, so at this stage, mix it again, make sure it's all even. And you can tell the nuts are pretty much done because they're getting brittle. So they are snapping more easily. So what we're going to do, mix it one more time. And then make it even. Then with the chocolate, just going to lay them on like this. And chocolate burns super easy and quick as well, so you just put them on. And this, oops, save some for the other tray. And this is going back in, and then the chocolate's just going to melt. Okay, so that's it. These nuts are definitely done. I might actually transfer the other tray to the top and put this one at the bottom, because these nuts are pretty much done, but we just need to melt the chocolate. So this is going to go back on the bottom rack. So in with the chocolate. And I'm going to put this on the lower rack and put the other one on the top rack. And that's it, and these are airtight, so it's going to keep in this, but it doesn't last more than a week, it'll be gone. And that's it, the chocolate just literally needed a little blast. So my nieces actually have this sometimes as cereal. So the chocolate combines it into clusters. If you don't want it like that, then you mix the chocolate in properly and you don't leave it as clusters. I'm not going to have it as cereal clusters, so I'm going to mix the chocolate in properly, and I don't think any of these jars need to be clusters, so it's going to be mixed in, and that's it. That's that one done. Get the other one out. Oven off. Mix the chocolate in. Obviously once it cools, the chocolate won't be able to be mixed in, so you don't want too many big chunks of just chocolate. You want everyone to get it on every bite. And that's it, done. I'm going to let that completely cool. And then transfer it to the glass jars. And the smell is just something else. I think it's the cacao powder and the dark chocolate at the end that just makes it. Obviously, if you don't want it chocolatey, just don't put the chocolate in. Put more honey in and make it more honey flavoured. But that's it. Super happy with that, good batch. But I would put more coconut in next time, I think. This batch has got, I think, slightly too many tri-seeds and probably not enough coconut for what I would want. But I'm happy with the amount of oats to nut seed ratio, and I like it chocolatey and the kids eat it, so I like the amount of dark chocolate I put in, but I can imagine some people wouldn't put as much dark chocolate in. Right, so they have totally cooled now, and we are going to just pop them into their containers. I do like to keep it a good mix, so I do it randomly. Some clusters going in. Someone's going to be happy with that. So this tray is actually a bit of a darker roast. It was on the top shelf and it was a gas oven today. So this one is a slightly darker roasted flavour. I think I'm gonna run out of jar space. Still some more space. Hopefully it will fit. we go. 3 jars. Filling the jars took longer than making it.